Starting.
Oh, hey folks.
And welcome everyone to Live After SmackDown Live. I am Tonya Rogers here with Andrew M. Swift, and we are here to talk about tonight's SmackDown Live show. Before we get into the show tonight and our thoughts and everything, we are to talk about one angle from Raw. And this week, I get to decide because Andrew got to pick Sasha. So,
Nobody wants to hear me talk about that anymore. I'm pretty certain.
okay, so my angle is this week, Rusev on Raw defended his United States Championship against a man he's kind of familiar with, Mark Henry. And Mark Henry is set to represent the WWE in the Olympics next week, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he beat Mark Henry, but that wasn't what the important part. The important part was after the match, he started talking down America once again, as he does. And I guess there's some controversy about Russia, and I don't follow.
Russia got a.
He made some very, up to date remarks about the Olympics and cheating and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then lo and behold, whose music comes out? It's Roman Reigns. Yay! He's in the mid card. I am so happy. Like I've been awakened this week. And I just want to say before I go on, all hail Triple H. I love him because I'm telling you, I was thinking Jericho or just some other feud that's just going to take up time and it's not going to be interesting. And it's like Roman's not going to have any room to like grow and develop. But he's been Rusev. And those two together, when they first, that was 2 years ago. And it was some good matchups then. And both have grown so much, especially in the ring. Like, I am so looking forward to that match. That's gonna be my favorite match of the night, obviously. I don't know, we might have competition from SmackDown. We'll talk about that later. But
Yep.
I just hope everybody like just calms down a little bit. Roman's in the mid card, so everything's gonna be awesome now. Like rainbows and unicorns, and I'm feeling the love just like everybody. I wasn't last week. I was like, I don't know, but yes, I'm feeling the love. I like the brand split so far.
Three clean losses in a month. Your boy is free now.
Yes, and you know what? Roman Reigns losing actually helped Raw ratings because all the men could be like, oh, are you telling me he's not going to be? It's safe to watch again? Okay, I can watch again.
All right.
All right, goody.
It's okay for me to watch.
Let's see what we got here. Okay, so let's move on to our show.
Right. Yeah, this show.
SmackDown Live. So they had a continuation from one angle from Raw, which was when Randy Orton out of nowhere RKO'd Brock Lesnar. And they showed him to start the show off getting reprimanded by his bosses. And Randy doesn't care. He's been awesome as just the person who just doesn't care. I don't care. I do what I want. I'm Randy Orton. And look, I'm wearing pants now. You dig that? He's wearing pants.
He's wearing pants. We know it's a new era when Randy Orton is wearing pants.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you. So, of course, we all know the type of man Brock Lesnar is. He's not going to take that lying down. So, while Randy Orton was kind of beating up Breezango all on his lonesome, Brock, like a gangster, he didn't come from under the ring or out of nowhere. He just came. He just showed it. He's just standing in the eyes like, what? What you gonna do? Yeah, I'm coming. Like, but Randy should have expected that. I mean, we all kind of expected like something It had to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Brock's not the type of person to take that laying down. So he came in the ring and he F5 Randy Orton. So now we got a few people. See, I was wondering how like they were going to interact. They're on different shows. Oh, that's simple. They're going to be on both shows.
They're just gonna run the angle on both.
But it's not taking up like a ton of time. And
Mm-hmm.
it's been quick and to the point, and like we know who these characters are, and it's kind of like a dream match. It's kind of being handled a certain way somebody handles dream matches down in that other promotion NXT, but
Yeah, they've never faced on.
It's being handled like a dream match. Basically, like what are they fighting for? Because they were booked together. Pretty much, they've never faced each other before. That's a dream match.
Yeah.
And the crowd's gonna be hot for it. They're gonna love it. And my sour feelings aside about how Brock is being handled, I think it's gonna be something. I don't think it's gonna be as Suplex City as most people assume it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I think Randy's gonna get his shit in. Brock's gonna bleed somehow, some way. Brock's gonna bleed.
Brock's gonna run right into a ring post like he always does. Just head on. I'm breaking myself open here.
And you know what? Boom. I'm Brock. That's what I do. I bleed. Okay, so we can go to the main event angle, which saw the WWE champion Dean Ambrose come out and address his challenger for SummerSlam, Dolph Ziggler. And this was this side of Dean I liked. It was a little on the bad guy side. He's kind of downplaying Dolph. Like Dolph, and Dolph comes out and says his piece. They have a little back and forth in the ring. I really like that back and forth. And I liked what both of them had to say. Like, because Dolph was like, Dean's, he's trying to say Dean's kind of putting on that he's been held down. Like, that's a mirage. He's been held down compared to the two Golden Boys. Yeah. But if you really want to look at somebody who's had to go through it, you're looking at him. He said, started from the top, now I'm here. I liked that line from Dolph. Because I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah, Dean, you did not. Dolph mentioned his past as a cheerleader, but I guess they scrubbed Kerwin White completely from WWE history. Because that's how Dolph started, as a caddy. I don't even remember his name, honestly. But I know he was a caddy for Kerwin White. And then I think Eddie passed away, and they were like, well, we're going to kill this angle.
Yeah, we're over this.
And then Dolph had to sit there while Vince imagined him and was it four other dudes?
Spirit Squad.
Yeah. And in his speech, I could feel all of that. I could relate to when he was 5 years old, he said he wanted to be there. And he basically kind of did the reverse Brock. He said, I went into collegiate wrestling so I could get here to the WWE. This is where I want to be. He showed a lot of passion. I very much enjoyed those two interacting. And it doesn't feel like a face-face feud. I'm like, Dean's kind of...
Yeah, Dean's running him down a little bit. He's running him
he puts him over. Like, yeah, he can go and this and that, but he's saying out loud what we said last week.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ziggler is a failure.
Yeah.
And there's no way I'm gonna let a failure beat me.
It's beyond the realm of comprehension for Ziggler to beat Ambrose. Is basically what Dean is saying, and he's not wrong in kayfabe. He's not wrong at all. And I liked Dolph playing into that, being like, yeah, I was a failure. I did lose my way, and I thought their promo was great. They both showed Dolph showed really good fire, and Dean had a little bit of an edge. And I liked his thing. I think he said it later in the show to Renee, where like, oh, I didn't realize Dolph was gonna completely self-destruct this fast, or whatever, or something like that. Yeah. It's like I was like, oh, you're putting him down a little bit here, but at the same time, it makes Dolph look good for being reckless and succeeding. Like, like the babyface is gonna be dumb, but then the babyface overcomes, still being dumb in the end. So that's a good look for them. I really like what they did with that angle tonight. The problem still is that what they're using as a story in kayfabe, Dolph Ziggler as irrelevant, is actually true for Shoot too.
Yeah.
So it's like they're playing on what we know, which is a good thing to do, but they're also reminding us that, like, yeah, this guy hasn't done anything on our show, and now he's challenging for the championship.
But like, because I found it interesting when Bray came and attacked Dolph after that first interaction. When Bray was like, "I'm gonna take your spot if I beat you," in the crowd, everybody in the crowd was going, "Yes,
yes, yeah."
So like, that's not a good sign.
No.
But you think they're gonna keep it just a face-face matchup all the way through?
I think they're gonna. I don't think there's gonna be a turn before the match. I think they're both gonna be a little like shaded, like they were tonight, which was good. But I don't think anyone's gonna turn. I think when Ambrose wins, Dolph might turn like after the match or like going into Backlash or something. But I think it's gonna be like tween instead of face or heel face.
Yeah, but I'm really gonna want Ambrose to lean in harder on being just a little bit more of being a dick, because that reminds me of the Ambrose that I know and love. Like
from the Shield, yeah.
Yes. I'm enjoying his run at SmackDown. Like, he's like, this is my show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, when you said I hope Ambrose is going to lean in there, I thought you were about to start talking about Ambrose's shitty punches, and I was about to get really excited there for a second. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry.
That the main event was a very good. I liked the match. I really did.
Yeah.
I've always liked Dolph and Bray when they mix it up in the ring, though.
Mm-hmm. The thing with the turnbuckle was weird. Like, I don't know why Bray just started undoing it randomly in the middle of the match. Like, when he was in control, it's like, what? Why are you doing this exactly? And then I didn't really understand why Dolph was like, oh yeah, we're definitely taking this off. Dean was good on commentary, I'll give you that.
He said when Bray was untying, it was like
he just wants to hurt people. Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't even care if you're down or whatever. He just wants to hurt you even further. I like that he sold that, because
God knows the rest of the commentary didn't.
Before we move on into the rest of the show, commentary team is terrible. There's not one true storyteller on that panel, and I'm really not gonna get on JBL for that, because that's not his position. There were little twinges and peaks for him tonight that were very good, especially with the Eva Marie stuff. But Mario Ranallo needs a storyteller or somebody with him. I don't know what the difference is, but David Otunga is not your anchor. And if you have JBL and Ranallo, you need an anchor. And David Otunga does not change the inflection in his voice when he talks. Like, he could be witnessing a baby massacre in the ring. He's like, oh, well, 5 babies just got killed. And next we have, I'm like, wait, what? No, he's terrible. He's garbage. I'm sorry. He's terrible. David Otunga is trash.
He makes Byron Saxton look like Corey Graves.
This show would have run a lot better, more smooth. Where is Michael Cole? Is he not allowed to even like work with the announce team? Or
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was like Lawler's like veteran advice. Like this is the second week in a row we're putting over Jerry Lawler, isn't it? Oh my God.
It's weird. There is a difference, because and I don't think it's JBL. He's still doing his JBL shit.
He's still doing his JBL shit.
It's not that annoying, really.
You know what? I said there was one moment that JBL like really annoyed me. It was when Orton did his like DDT on the ropes thing gimmick, the whole vintage Orton, and Morrow just called it like a DDT, whatever, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh thank God, I didn't have to hear like vintage Orton. And then JBL's like, well, as like Michael Cole would say, it's vintage Orton. And I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, why? Why?
I thought it was a dig. He was like, I miss Michael Cole, goddammit.
Was that? Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. That's
right.
how I took it.
I thought it was an homage more than a dig, but I was writing furiously.
Okay. So we have the undercard. The Miz has a challenger in Apollo Crews, which I called on Cagesiders.
Yeah. I'm sorry, do you mean Apollo Creed?
Was it Apollo Creed?
No.
Is that what he called him? No, I know. Daniel Bryan called him the wrong name.
Yeah.
I just didn't catch what he
Apollo
actually
Creed.
said. So
He called him Apollo Creed.
Because he knows he knows Apollo is dead in the water if he keeps getting booked like this. Baby boy needs a decisive, strong win.
Mm-hmm.
He pinned Kalisto in a triple threat with Corbin himself and Kalisto.
Yeah.
Corbin was he was outside of the ring. He was super, Baron Corbin was more protected than Apollo Crews in this segment. But Baron Corbin isn't the challenger.
Yeah.
Apollo Crews. So are they trying? See, this is what a WWE doesn't like to do: heel versus heel stuff sometimes, especially for titles. So do you think they're trying to get somehow an Apollo Crews Baron Corbin feud for the Intercontinental title, but they have to get the title off
of the Miz? See, it's interesting because we're talking about this Intercontinental title feud, and it just makes me think back to what a couple of months ago. I don't remember what Extreme Rules maybe or whatever show it was when there was the 4-way or 5-way for the IC match, and the Miz retained by pinning Cesaro. It was Zayn, Owens, Miz, and Cesaro, and I was like, that feud was awesome, and any one of those guys could have been legitimate IC champs, and it would have been a good angle to run with.
They were all equals.
And now it feels like the Miz doesn't really have anybody to put over. Apollo Crews, does he what has he done? He's winning matches by roll-ups.
He's not winning in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, they're not making him look strong. They're not making him look strong at all.
I want them to. I want to get to know this guy because he seems like a cool guy. But just something's not translating on camera. And WWE is not helping him because he's not exactly oozing with charisma.
No. Yeah.
But he seems like somebody I could get behind, especially a mid-card guy, but just even in NXT, just something wasn't connected. And I know I thought he was pretty popular. I don't know, but I thought he was pretty popular before he came to the company.
Yeah, that was my impression. Yeah.
So what? I don't.
Yeah. Like you were saying, even in NXT, he started out with a 4-month undefeated streak, and then was pinned by Corbin in London. I'm much surprised when, of course, Baron Corbin became everyone's favorite banter Corbin, telling him to go back to Ring of Honor. But I think that was a surprise to a lot of people because it seemed like they were building up Crews to be a big-time title challenger, and that just never sort of came off, and he was just kind of floating basically through his entire NXT tenure.
Yeah.
And now it feels like kind of the same way. I don't know what they're trying to do with him, and I don't know what they should be trying to do with him, to be fair. I mean,
okay, we gotta move on to let's talk about American Alpha.
They're wonderful.
Their debut. They're so cute. I just want to put them in it. It's just what did they used to say? I just want to put you in a goddamn shelf and just keep them there. They're so cute. Did you see they did the double drop kicks and the Vaudevillains took a powder out of the ring and then they both slid
to the ropes and doing that? Yeah. That was great.
How could you? They're it's just a match. I thought they were pretty well received. They're not gonna be as over as they got in NXT, but they didn't start that over. You know, people saw their friendship and their chemistry together, and they grew on people, and they got really over, and that's what's gonna happen here. I already see in the crowd. I already likes them.
The crowd was getting into them, for sure.
And you could hear in the beginning some Gable.
Yeah. There was a fan
I
Gable.
heard we want Alpha chant. I thought I heard that.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, that they looked really good. It was I know pairing them with the Vaudevillains, giving the Vaudevillains another loss is, it's a team that knows them and is able to sell their offense well. So that I think worked out in the end pretty well. But it obviously doesn't help the Vauds. But yeah, Alpha looked great. I mean, Jason Jordan, that hot tag, the straps come down. You can't not pop for that. Like that's
Right.
and the crowd was getting into it. Like when they see the catch release suplex. I'm probably botching that name. Sorry, Rev. And then the overhead belly to belly like toss basically, and then the straps come down. People are like, oh shit, here we go. It's lit.
Yeah.
It's lit all of a sudden. This guy is fired up. And I think that's going to really help them, and like Gable started with a little bit of like grapple work, like doing some trickery, like getting Gotch down on the mat, and people are like, oh, that's something new. I don't see that.
Not to just, he knows, and he's smart enough to know, like, just to do a little bit, give him a little taste.
Just a tease.
And then go on with it. They are so like, they're so ready.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's good to see.
It's really nice to see an act come up and like immediately look just as good as they were down south.
Yeah, like there's no difference. I can't tell any difference.
Yeah,
honestly. So what do you want to do? You want to talk about the women's angles?
Yeah,
they were supposed to be matches, but they were angles. So
they were angles.
Match yes, and I prefer angles over matches on a show that only has 2 hours. If you get some character work and you get people to care, then you can have the matches.
Yep.
So
I don't disagree.
The first one,
Becky, Ava.
Becky it's supposed to be Becky Lynch and Ava Marie.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give Eva Marie some credit. I thought she was hurt for real.
No,
I did.
No,
I thought she was hurt for real.
No.
When she first jumped down off the turnbuckle and she did like a little step, I thought she had hurt herself. But then when she started to sell that she was hurt, I was like, oh, okay, it's an angle.
I see what's going on here.
Yeah, I see what this is. You almost got me.
I tell you what, that feels like another all hail, because when that graphic went up before the commercial, like Becky Lynch, Ava Marie, the Daily was like, oh, shit, Becky's dropping to Ava tonight. And Trips was like, nah. Come on, guys. You know me better than this. I know how to use Ava a lot better than that. Come on, give me some credit here. It was really, really, really well done. And I tried transcribing Ava's entrance, and I lost it like halfway through. But I was like, this is some glorious stuff. Let's see. There was one phrase in here, eternally beguiling. I was just like, wow, eternally beguiling. That's a mouth phrase right there.
Yes, it is. Like that. I'm telling you, I'm gonna transcribe it one day. But like every time I try, I just get mesmerized because it's just the best. It's just the best thing ever. I'm dumbfounded.
It's spectacular to be honest. Like I never would have guessed that we'd be popping so hard for Ava, but
okay. So Renee Young, she has her own like panel sit down interview area, and I like it. It's something different look. There's gonna be a lot of angles. People probably gonna get beat up in there. So yes. So the first angle that started there, they were going to interview Carmella. Then immediately Natty interferes. And Natty, I don't know, maybe she's motivated. Maybe she's tired of people saying she's boring. But I enjoyed her on this show tonight. Mm-hmm. She came in and my uncle, Bret Hart. Did you know my uncle was Bret Hart? And then she goes on to tell Carmella that she's going to teach her a lesson. Then Carmella's coming out, and let me just say, if you're going to separate the girl from the realest guys, don't have her do anything like Enzo Amore's interest, because she cannot pull it off.
Yeah, she can't compare.
But if she's doing it, like people aren't stupid. They're gonna realize she's
Yeah.
doing it, and they're gonna start comparing her. And I don't think that helps her at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad. I hope it's a running because she didn't get to finish it last week. She did get to finish it. I hope that's a running thing. That every time she comes out doing it, somebody interrupts her until she just drops it.
Until the next week when she's like, you know what, I'm done talking before the match. I'm just walking to the ring. I'm gonna get my ass beat again if this happens. So I'm just like I'm gonna moonwalk back to the ring so I can watch the ramp and make sure no one comes up from behind and ambushes me here. I'd pop
It's
for that.
Natty. That's exactly what Natty did. She came right up behind her and beat her ass and put her in the. And I'm gonna bury David Otunga again because this is it boils my blood. I'm telling you, Bret Hart is one of my all-time favorites. This son of a bitch, and yes, I use that word. Don't judge me because this is what he is. If he's supposed to be a wrestling commentator and he makes a comment that Bret Hart never attacked anybody from behind,
then
you obviously have never watched Bret Hart's career. And you work for the WWE, you have the WWE network. So I suggest what you do tonight, David Otunga, is you click on some Bret Hart and Stone Cold, and don't you? And I bet you'll catch him jumping Stone Cold from behind, smooth before a match, even all the time. Like that really pissed me off. And then nobody, like, I think JBL was like at that point had given up because usually he will be like, because he's a heel, he like, actually, Bret Hart knows what, of course he's attacked people from behind. He knows what it takes, and Italians teaching Carmella what it takes, somebody to tie it all in.
Right.
Because Lord knows Mario ain't gonna do it. He's gonna say something to have something to do with Kanye West video that I've never watched and never will. Like I said, why is he talking? Listen, everybody does not listen or enjoy pop culture. Like, I'm a wrestling fan.
That's my pop
like
culture.
weird shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like weird shit.
I don't like the popular and hip and cool. Stop doing that. Stop it.
Yeah, once in a while it's okay, but like he shoehorns it into like everything, and I've started blocking them out. I honestly don't even hear them anymore. I'm just like, wait, he made another one? I didn't even.
It's like he's obsessed with being current and up to date.
Yeah.
He is going to reference something that happened like on Twitter that don't nobody know about yet. We're like, what is he talking about?
Like 25 minutes prior. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, that's what he was talking about. Really? Come on, just call the match.
I hope you never actually say his first name correctly. I'm just gonna. I hope you go with Mario or Mario or please
Mario.
Maurice.
I cannot pronounce it. Well, listen, I know I speak rather well from someone from Mississippi, but I am still from Mississippi.
I still am from Mississippi. That's fair.
Okay, we have to talk about Cena and Styles.
Oh, this is great.
And how AJ Styles is somehow using what every heel against Cena has said, but in such a much better way than most of them have said it. Like when he started talking about people who want their kids to get trophies for participation, I was like, okay, so we on a different level here.
Yeah.
And then John Cena hits him with, like, I know AJ came back, but did you see AJ Styles' face when John Cena was talking?
Oh, it was great. He knew
he would get ethered at the moment, right?
Yes,
right
he did. I was literally just about to use that word.
He couldn't do. That's the face you make when you getting ethered, and you can't do nothing about it. I swear, what has happened to me that? Okay, I've never been a John Cena hater. Let's get that established.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't interested in him very much. And some people say, oh, well, he is a great rapper. He is a great rapper if you really aren't into rap music. Then yes, he is a great rapper. But otherwise, no. Not really good. And his gimmick was kind of like, and he was kind of misogynistic when he first came. I didn't really like him. So the period that he ran WWE, I was like watching only WrestleMania. So all I saw is that this dude comes in. Like, I didn't really know that his gimmick had changed from what I first saw when I stopped watching to what it is now. And even when I came back in 2013, it wasn't this Cena. This dude, he said, I am a grown ass man. I love to see these kids. I was like, oh, if only this could headline.
Yeah, that's your real. That's
As
your
a
real
title
main
match.
event. Yeah, that's your real
title
main
match.
event. Yeah, for sure.
That's your title match. Oh, did I say that's your title match without a title?
Title match without a title.
It's a title match without the title.
Yeah, it was. You know, I thought they both brought it extremely well. I thought AJ like stopped for a minute. I thought he like forgot one of his lines, to be honest. And
he got ethered though. That's why.
And like, and he was just like, holy shit, I just got wrecked. And the crowd was chanting. First of all, why Nashville are you chanting soccer mother instead of soccer mom? That bothered the hell out of me. I'm just like, that. What are they chanting? Soccer mother instead of soccer mom. Anyway,
it sounds like soccer mother.
Yeah.
Instead of soccer mother, like you're gonna.
Yeah, it's very, very, very weird chant, Nashville. I'm gonna.
It was weird. It's kind of odd.
But Cena's bit about when he brought out the L word, John Cena talking about love. I was like, God damn, John Cena's getting serious here. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. I'll talk about feelings and love. I was like, where am I right now? Holy shit. What is going on? I expected John Cena to slut shame somebody out here, and he's like, I will talk about my feelings, God damn it.
Yeah, that's what happens when you fall in love with freaking Nikki Bella, goddamn it.
Yes, Queen Slay. Yes, Queen Slay. Absolutely. Nikki Bella.
You see, Nikki Bella's just spreading it all around. She's making John Cena a better person. Jesus.
I
can't wait for her to get back.
I can't wait for her to get back. I can't wait till she takes the title off Sasha.
You think she's gonna be on?
No, she's going to SmackDown. She's going to SmackDown. I know. She's definitely going to SmackDown.
But
John Cena was magnificent. And you know, this guy. Can people still not like this guy? Is that still a thing?
But I can see how he won't be a cup of tea.
Sure, but at Battleground, I couldn't even chant Cena sucks at Battleground. I would people were doing Cena sucks, and I was just like, I wasn't doing the Let's Go Cena, but I was like, I can't really say in good faith that I think this guy sucks, even ironically.
Listen, when I went to my very first house show last year, and the show was great, and they had an intermission, and then they announced that John Cena was going to be coming out right after the intermission. And I thought, this has been a great show so far. John Cena came out, and I tell everybody, the building shook. I went this year, and it was great. Nobody shook the building, the same building. Around the same amount of people. The building shook when John Cena. It was like, it's like it was pandemonium. There was no Cena sucks in that crowd. Mm-hmm. It was just Let's Go Cena. Everybody loved the guy, and it was infectious. And it's like he has such a presence about him. Man is a star.
Man is star power for sure.
He comes out and says, "I am never leaving this company. Thank you very much." That's the thing. AJ was like, "Why are you still here?
Why are you still here?" Yeah, I was like, why are you at? Why wouldn't he still be here, AJ? I was a little confused by that line a little bit. I knew AJ was baiting him clearly to be like, "Oh yeah, I'll take any challenge or whatever," which was heel clever or whatever. Which was nice. I liked that he tied it in at the end there. It was like, oh yeah, of course I'll take a challenge. I love fighting for WWE and all these kids and parents. It was like, good, I got you exactly where I wanted to get you, which is nice because it makes AJ look good and smart, but it also gets Cena over as an actual baby face. John Cena's an actual baby face. It's 2016.
Imagine that.
What a time to be alive. It was the other thing about Cena that I loved in this segment was when he turned to the camera and he was like, when he was like mimicking someone asking him like, "Hey John, now that you've made it mainstream, when are you gonna leave?" And it was just like the way he said mainstream. I was just like, damn, John's shooting on somebody right here.
Yes, he is.
John boy is shooting.
He said he loves when they ask him that, so he can tell them never. Oh, it was a good, solid show.
It's a good
And
show. I really
like,
liked it.
you can have problems here and there, nitpicks. Of course, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but the only thing I see that is going to be an issue if they don't fix it soon is commentary.
Yeah.
Particularly getting rid of David Otunga.
Yeah, he's a black hole of charisma and insight and everything valuable.
When you make Byron Saxton look like an okay premise, you're terrible. Like, he asks, sometimes every once in a while, Byron will like give you something.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. And the thing about Byron is that he's at least good to be like picked on. But David Otunga is just there.
Yeah. Yeah, Byron's a good goober. Like, you can rip on him. Like, even Cole rips on him sometimes, for God's sakes.
Right.
But obviously
Corey
does.
Is the original goober.
Yeah. So it's like, so he has a purpose at least. There is some, but Otunga, like, every 10 minutes he says something, and I'm like, oh shit, oh that's right, David Otunga's on commentary. I forgot about that. Literally forgot about that 10 minutes prior in this show, and I'm going to forget about it 10 minutes from now as well.
Okay, is there anything we didn't talk about?
I did.
We talked about Heath yet? Did we talk about Heath?
Oh, no, we haven't talked about Heath Slater, the greatest, hottest free agent in wrestling right now. Heath Slater. Tonya and I were talking about this on the award-winning pre-show beforehand. Heath Slater is maybe the smartest. He may be smarter than Triple H, folks.
Yeah, he's a genius. And this is my theory. Okay. So when Randy Orton showed up yesterday, RKO Brock, a lot of people were like, "Oh, the brand split's ruined," but nobody said that about Heath earlier appearing on the same show when he had just been on SmackDown Live, because he hasn't been drafted to either show. And I bet you, because is creative really sitting around thinking of angles for Heath freaking Slater? No, he knew that the social outcasts were gonna break up, and he was like, "Well, here's my next story. Here's what I'm doing next." And he's actually smarter than everybody because he's figured out how to get TV time on both TV shows. When only Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar are also doing that. He is in a category with Brock Lesnar.
All hail Heath Slater.
Oh my goodness.
Clem Layfield. Yeah, that's brilliant. I still don't understand. Like, Bryan, I loved Daniel Bryan on this show. I thought he was really good. And I thought, unlike last week where the authority figures were kind of a little bit too much of the show, I thought this week they were used pretty well. Even though they got a fair amount of time, I thought they used them well and efficiently, so I was okay with that. But why is Rhino a thing? Why are Rhino and Benjamin Shelton, as I called him in my recap last week, which literally only one person I caught. I can't believe only one person caught that, and it was not on purpose. I assure you that was an error.
I thought you were kind of being a smart ass.
No, I assure you that was a straight up error. I saw that on the 600 comment. I'm like, oh man, wow, that's bad. But yeah, why are we bringing back these guys? We don't need your Rhinos and your Shelton Benjamins or your Jinder Mahals on Raw. That's what the last 2 weeks of Raw and tonight on SmackDown showed me is we don't need these random, guys. We could have put in a promo or a squash match.
How about Apollo Crews being the one to be bumping heads with Heath? Why Heath just started messing with him why were you drafted and I wasn't? You haven't won anything. I've been a tag team champion, or I was in the Nexus.
Yeah.
But instead I get what you're saying, but I think it's because I think all these old guys are being brought back to put over newer guys. I don't think they're bringing anybody back to like push them. I don't think that.
No, yeah,
So
they're
that's
just
what
there
I
to
don't
be
get.
bodies. But that's not good because we all know that they're just bodies. So you're basically saying this part of our show is not important at all. Even though they're names though. Like it's fun to have like a jobber like going up against Braun Strowman talking about like, well, if I win, I get $5,000, you know, because it's like an anonymous. Well, it's not an anonymous person. It's a guy who's been in NXT a couple of times, but you know, it's not somebody that people know. It's not a name. It's not a face. So it's like, oh, this is a fun little thing here.
Yeah.
But like Shelton Benjamin, like, hey, what? I don't know. That I think is unnecessary, especially when you're not using all the people on your roster. Like we could have gotten a squash match, which there haven't been really any like squashes like the last 2 weeks on Raw. I guess VODs and Alpha tonight was kind of a squash, but not entirely. But you could have done a squash match with Alexa Bliss, who's just might be the best squasher on the planet right now with her crazy eyes gimmick and vicious offense and stuff. So thank you, Rev. Corey Hollis. I was waiting for you to yell at me about that. But yeah, so like you could be using people like Alexa Bliss. You could be using some of the other tag teams. I guess they use Fandango a little bit, which was nice, and Breezango. But I don't think they need to bring back these warm bodies to just be warm bodies. I think they should be encouraging people from like the indies or people who like get a shot and try to get some money or try to like make a good impression on somebody and advance your career. Like this isn't Shelton Benjamin and Rhino. It's not doing anything for anyone. Like if somebody beats them, it's like they're not. It doesn't matter because it's Shelton Benjamin and Rhino. And if they beat anybody, it's like, wow, you lost to Shelton Benjamin or Rhino. I don't think they do. They don't really do much of anything for the show. But I don't know. That's just my take.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I just kind of I just don't think they're gonna be like a major part of the show. And Shelton Benjamin, from what I remember, like I don't know how he is now. So I kind of liked him back in the day. So I'll be interested in to see like if he can still, you know, go in the ring if he's how I remember him. That's probably the only thing. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, it's still Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, it's still. Is he bringing back like Big Mama or Mama or whatever? I wasn't watching at the time, so I don't really know what's going on. I knew that was a thing though.
That was a terrible. Like people don't understand that is a stereotype in the black community.
Oh yeah, I absolutely believe that. For sure.
Overbearing mama who is basically her son's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. That's my baby. Even though he's old as hell, yes. I didn't like that at all. So I hope.
So hopefully they don't bring that back. That would be.
I like when he was the gold standard, but they never went anywhere with it.
Yeah, see, I didn't see any of this stuff. This is after and before my time. Mid-aughts WWE.
I hadn't given up just yet, but I gave up reference around 2006, and then like almost didn't ever come back after 2007. But if it wasn't for Shawn Michaels deciding that, you know what, I'm gonna try to break the Undertaker streak, I probably would have never watched wrestling again after Chris Benoit and that whole situation.
Yeah.
Probably like I was so done with everything having to do with wrestling and all. I was just like I was questioning myself. Like what kind of person am I for watching these people do this type of stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh well, fuck. But this is Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker at WrestleMania for the streak. I'm a terrible person, and I'm gonna have to watch this.
Can't not watch it, right?
I made sure, like my entire family, we were all watching it and rooting for it, and that brought me back. Sometimes, like I was like, okay, I watch like WrestleMania, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, it was one WrestleMania I watched. I I can't remember which one, but I didn't know hardly anybody or anything that was going on. And I was like, okay, so the next year I'm gonna watch like a month or so before and find out who these people are. And then that year happened to be 2013. And the month or so before, who was all the Shield?
Mhm.
Let me tell you, I thought when I first saw them, the first time I ever saw them, my first is that who the fuck are these assholes? And why won't they stop beating people? Like I hated them. Do you understand? Like every time I was like, ugh. And then I saw them because I didn't get it. I promise. And then I saw them at WrestleMania 29. I was like, oh, I get it. Okay. And then it brought me back. And here we are.
That's what you need when you abandon wrestling for a time. You need something to bring you back, and
Yes.
it's good that we both have gotten that. What's your
Bringing people back, I think, because if you look, especially KM Tierney, he follows ratings like a hawk. He is a ratings mark. That's what I call it. Like I don't understand. I swear I don't get it. I don't get what enjoyment you get knowing who watches it or how many people. God bless you. I just want a good show. I don't care. But he is a ratings mark, and he is following these trends in the draft, in the way things are being booked. People are slowly, steadily coming back. So WWE might be doing something right, a little bit.
Yeah, they're on the upswing right now. The wrestling isn't so bad at this moment in time. I think it's nice to see that. What's your overall assessment of the show then tonight? How are you feeling about it?
If I was rating it, I probably would have given it an 8.5, just because
8.5. Oh, that's right. You have the numbers. That's right. Yeah.
Yes, because of Bret Hart.
Because of David Otunga alone dropped it.
Buried him.
Yeah.
The whole point, he drops it. It would have been a 9, but then the half a point because I didn't. It's still kind of like 50-50 with the Baron Corbin situation.
Baron Corbin thing.
Like he was made to look the best in that segment over the champion and the challenger. Like I wouldn't have cared if it stopped at the Miz.
Yeah.
What really I think would have helped Baron Corbin right now, because he needs it, is to be like, you know what? I'm gonna be your muscle. Just out of this. He's no longer the lone wolf. Let's drop that. That sounds nice, but the lone wolf is for somebody who can actually talk and carry matches and shit. He needs help right now.
Yeah. It also makes him look like kind of a neo-Nazi, like a little bit with his lone wolf biker gimmick. Tough guy.
That's probably how I would have put it, but they're probably pushing him. And I also didn't like the end where, once again, the champion and the challenger are left laying by a non-challenger to end the show.
Yeah.
That was my issue. It's not about who did it. It's just like two angles where neither the person is challenging or the champion looked the strong. It was like an outsider.
Yeah.
With that, I mean, they could be furthering angles, but they only have 2 weeks. So
yeah, they don't have much time before Barclays, right. So they need to, like, are they going to do something with Bray in Barclays? Like something, sure, but is he going to get involved in the title match? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, like they were building this nice Ziggler Ambrose angle tonight, and I thought they were doing really well. And then they had the staring down, and it was like, oh, we're gonna stare down and close the show.
And
like,
then they brought out Aaron.
And then Rowan comes out and lays waste to folk.
He ruined it.
Yeah, Aaron Rowan, who's fucking reading about wine backstage or talking with wine with Maurice backstage, and realized that he needed to hit his cue and ran out and beat people up. But yeah, I thought this show was pretty good compared to last week. Compared to last week, I would give it an A+, frankly. But I guess you'll have to read my recap in about an hour and 40 minutes to see what grade I'm giving it tonight, and wait about an hour and 40 minutes until you can start yelling at me in the comments, folks. So good. Look forward to that.
Okay, so do we want to wrap this up? You want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is like us, we talked about it in the daily. But I would be remiss if we didn't just mention the opening segment of Raw.
Mm. Mm.
I I guess I'm a Pollyanna in this situation because when something offends me, I don't need anyone else to be offended. Everyone else can love it. I'm still going to be the one person standing there and say, "Well, I didn't like it. I was offended."
Mm-hmm.
And the issue. This is because on the first show I said this. We need to stick together, people. 2 weeks later, we are not sticking together.
Well,
2
this
weeks.
is when I turned heel and pissed everybody off. So
2 weeks.
It's all my
Listen,
fault. Shit.
if you were offended, you have every right to be offended. I'm not going to tell you you are wrong. I didn't like the segment because I just don't like 20-minute segments. Is that the only person who is active, right? He's not really even active because he's in MMA. But the only person that I would care for to stand out there and talk and is engaging and interested to me is CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably listen to him do an hour promo because but I don't value talking as much as most people. Some people like, so and so is a great promo. I didn't think anything was fantastic. I thought there were some things to chuckle at, but it lasted too long. And this is a fighting show. Where is my fighting? That's all I was thinking. It's kind of weird. These people never interacted. If it was a one-off, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like there were some comments of people like, "I can't believe you aren't outraged too," and there were other comments, "How dare you be offended?" Listen, people people have their own feelings, and it is not right to tell somebody how they should feel about what they saw. And if somebody was offended and did not want to see what happened, that is their right. Absolutely. You could also be the type to look on the plus side of it. The women got more time.
I got 40 minutes.
Yes. But there are issues in that promo. But I don't think any like it was, oh, they're just being treated like this because I've already explained this to you. People like, that's a Vince segment. No, Vince segment, somebody would be talking about the size of somebody's testicles and bitch and ass and all that would have been said. It's very much about bravado in Vince's promos. Triple H, yes, people, we're praising him and he deserves it. But like
Still weird to hear.
He was in DX though. And like maybe a lot of people commenting didn't actually watch him. I watched. That was Triple H material. Especially the stuff about the one night stand. You are probably a product of a one night stand. I was like, that's Triple H wrote that line specifically for Sasha to say to Charlotte. So it's the thing about Sasha Banks is that I don't think she's the type that if she feels like she's about to be getting mistreated, I don't think she's just gonna be silent about it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
No, I agree. Like,
I think
for sure.
Charlotte will, because Charlotte, God bless her, choked through that promo last year that she didn't want to do. But I think if Sasha wasn't comfortable with something, she was like, excuse me, wait a minute, what? She's gonna say, Randy, no, you go ask Triple H, honey, boo boo. Wait a minute. No, I'm not doing that. So I don't think it was that bad, but also I don't think it was like, oh, so funny and the greatest thing ever. I think it was cheap. But if it was a way to get those women more over, I'm gonna take it for now. And if this doesn't develop into a character pattern, then I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I obviously soul searched for like 18 hours straight before I realized that the problem I had with that segment was that it was fucking Chris Jericho. With his quiet bullshit. As soon as I heard the first quiet, I was like, I fucking hate this segment. So that's where all of my anger came from, Cagesiders. I just can't deal with Chris Jericho anymore right now, so fuck that dude, man. Ugh. over it.
Chris Jericho is very controversial around here because half the people are saying he's doing the best work of his career, which
Yeah.
I find very insulting because you obviously did not watch any WCW.
WCW.
To say that's an insult to conspiracy theory Jericho.
Yeah.
That's an insult to the man who rightly called Goldberg Greenberg. Live on national TV over and over and got away with calling this man Greenberg.
It's an insult to Ralphus. Got to give a shout out to Ralphus.
It's an insult to that's the insult to when Jericho first showed up to the company.
Yeah. Man, I miss WCW.
I miss certain things about WCW, but they were very bad about the old men being in the main event.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a little bit bad about that.
This is like the who's the oldest guy in the main events? Like we have like basically 3 big matches. Most of the guys in their late 30s.
Late 30s, yeah.
If this was WCW area, they'd be in their late 40s.
Late 40s.
early 50s. Hogan had to be knocking his 50s when he first turned heel. So
yeah, I don't know. Good old WCW. All right, I gotta go write this review.
Yes, and finally we have something to praise. We want to be positive. We want WWE to entertain us, and they have. Thank you, Lord. We will see you next week, and hopefully it'll be even more positive, and we'll have even better things to say because David Otunga will no longer be on commentary. All right, see you guys later.
Night.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.